There's something quietly fascinating about the Honda Ridgeline. It's never been the loudest or the most aggressive-looking truck on the road. It doesn't rumble down the street daring everyone to look. But somehow, it sticks around. For years, people have either loved it for being different or brushed it aside because it didn't fit their idea of what a truck should be. Now, the 2026 Honda Ridgeline is stepping up. Not with fireworks or fanfare, but with something better. Real changes. This isn't just about looks, it's about listening to years of feedback and finally answering with action. Here's your first real look. The Honda Ridgeline has always been that one truck sitting slightly apart from the crowd. Back in 2006 when it first arrived, it confused people. It had a unibody frame, meaning it was built more like a car than a traditional truck. To some, this was a strange choice, but to others, it made perfect sense. The ride was smoother and it handled like a crossover. It wasn't trying to copy anyone, it had its own logic. But that logic came at a price. Some people didn't think it was strong enough. Over the years, those concerns added up. One big complaint was always the towing power. While other trucks bragged about hauling boats and big trailers, the Ridgeline had more modest limits. Some people saw that as a deal breaker. Others felt the styling was just too soft. Trucks, after all, were supposed to look tough. The Ridgeline didn't shout toughness, it whispered usefulness. Honda's approach wasn't wrong, but it definitely wasn't for everyone. Think the Ridgeline's just another pretty pickup? Comment here, hit that subscribe button, and buckle up, because the 2026 model is rewriting every rule in the truck world. Fast forward to now, the 2026 Ridgeline is taking those old opinions seriously. For one thing, Honda has worked on the design. It's still unmistakably a Ridgeline, but it's sharper now. The front end looks more confident without going overboard. There's more definition to the shape, and the lighting is sleeker. You won't find any chrome that's just there to show off. It's a practical face for a truck that's focused on the drive, not the flash. One of the biggest updates is under the skin. The 2026 model keeps the unibody construction, but it's been strengthened. That means better stability and more solid road presence. Engineers have reinforced key areas of the frame to improve how the truck handles when it's loaded or traveling over uneven terrain. It might not be built like a traditional truck, but it definitely acts like one when needed. The suspension system is another area where Honda has stepped up. Past Ridgelines sometimes felt too much like a minivan when going over rough patches. Drivers wanted something firmer, something that felt more ready for mixed conditions. The new model delivers that with a reworked suspension setup that absorbs bumps better but still gives you control. It's less floaty and more planted. Honda has also given attention to what's under the hood. For years, the Ridgeline has used a 3.5-liter V6 engine. It was dependable, but not exactly thrilling. In the 2026 model, that engine is still there, but it's been refined. Power delivery is smoother, and there's a noticeable improvement in how it handles acceleration. It's quicker off the line, especially when the bed is empty. Fuel efficiency has also been slightly improved thanks to better tuning and transmission tweaks. There's talk of a hybrid version coming later, which would be a big move in a world where more drivers are looking for greener choices without giving up function. Inside the cabin, Honda's made some smart changes. One thing that used to get brought up a lot was the interior layout. Some people thought it was too much like a car, not enough like a truck. For 2026, the layout is still driver-friendly, but with more thought put into utility. The materials have been upgraded. It's not just soft plastic anymore. There's a more rugged texture in places where hands are likely to rest or grab. The seats feel supportive for longer drives, and the controls have been rearranged to be more intuitive. The tech features have been modernized too. Drivers can now access a digital cluster with clearer graphics and better responsiveness. The center display has grown slightly, and it's now easier to read even in sunlight. Navigation and connectivity tools have been updated to reflect how people actually use their trucks today, not just for work, but for family drives, road trips, and daily commutes. Honda has added more USB ports, better wireless charging, and enhanced voice command features that actually understand what you're saying the first time. Safety has always been a strong point for Honda, and that remains true. The Ridgeline now includes more driver support systems as standard. Adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assistance, and automatic braking are all part of the package. What's more interesting is that the sensors and cameras behind those features have been upgraded to work better in rain, fog, or low-light conditions, something that wasn't always dependable in past versions. The Ridgeline also retains one of its most famous features, the in-bed trunk. It's basically a storage space built into the floor of the bed, and it's been a fan favorite ever since it first showed up. For 2026, it's been made a bit deeper, with better sealing to keep water out. You can still fill it with ice and drinks if you want, but now it also has a drainage plug that's easier to open and clean. It's little things like this that show Honda isn't trying to reinvent the truck, it's refining it. In terms of configurations, Honda has kept things simple but effective. There are no extra cab choices or super long beds. The focus is on making one setup as good as it can be. This might turn away buyers who want full customization, but it also makes the Ridgeline feel more purposeful. You know exactly what you're getting. One thing Honda hasn't done yet is create a high-performance version of the Ridgeline. Some of its competitors offer special versions with more power or extra equipment meant for tougher driving conditions. While that's not a part of the 2026 release, it's something fans have been asking about. There's even talk of a future Ridgeline Type R, which would be a sportier, more aggressive version. Whether that happens remains to be seen, but the interest is definitely there. So, what kind of person is the 2026 Ridgeline really for? That's the interesting part. It's not trying to win a power contest. It's not the truck you get to make a point. Instead, it's designed for people who actually use their truck every day and want to feel comfortable, reliable, and smart. People who don't care about impressing their neighbors but care about being able to load up bikes, furniture, or tools without a second thought. Honda knows its customers well. The 2026 Ridgeline isn't trying to compete with the biggest, loudest trucks out there. It's carving out a space for people who want a vehicle that can do a lot without acting like it needs to prove anything. And that's kind of refreshing in a world where vehicles are often designed to shout instead of speak. Looking ahead, the Ridgeline's future could be very interesting. With more trucks turning electric, Honda will likely follow that path too. The company has already hinted at electric powertrains for future models. An electric Ridgeline could keep the smooth handling and clever features, but with more torque and better fuel savings. That might finally silence those critics who always said it wasn't strong enough. There's also potential in more modular features. Imagine tailgates that open in multiple directions, or built-in power outlets for tools and camping gear. These are things people have started asking for, and Honda tends to listen when the feedback is consistent. A few patents have even surfaced showing ideas like solar charging roofs and retractable bed covers. The world of trucks is changing, and the Ridgeline is quietly keeping up. Not by copying what everyone else is doing, but by improving in its own way. It's not chasing trends. It's adjusting to what people actually want once the hype dies down. If you've been watching the Ridgeline from a distance, the 2026 version is worth a closer look. It's not perfect, it still might not be for everyone, but it's grown into something that feels more sure of itself. It's like it's finally done trying to fit in and is just doing its job better than ever. That's something you don't see every day in the world of trucks, and it might be exactly what some drivers have been waiting for all along. That's all for today, guys. If the 2026 Ridgeline caught you off guard, subscribe and like this video so you can see what's coming next. We always love hearing from you.